Greetings and welcome to another SouthernAirs trip report with me, Tyler, JettForceOne McDowell.
And me, Matt BanjoMan Walker. This one starts with an unusual hotel just outside of London Stansted Airport called the DeSalis Hotel. We think it was like an old barn house that may have been converted, but we aren't so sure as we can't find any history of the place, just the reviews. Okay, so we've arrived for our first destination of the next couple of days.
And I've done enough driving to last a lifetime.
It's called the DeSalis Hotel. I would say it's about the same size as the Air Hotel when we stayed.
At least they've given us a window here.
Yeah, definitely a window, but
I can see my car from here.
It is an interesting place. It's very old-fashioned. I thought it was bigger when we booked this one. Let's see what the bathroom's like. The first time stepping in here. It looks really posh. Really posh. Look at that. Blimey Nora. Okay. No bodies in the shower. That's what we like. So yeah, what do you think, Tyler?
I think this is good for a one-night affair. I mean, I wouldn't probably want to use this for like a 3 or 4 night stay unless it was like the only option.
I definitely wouldn't want to use this one as a quarantine hotel, but for just the night, it seems really, really nice.
I see they've given us a decent selection of like teas and coffees and stuff. We probably need a few more milks for.
I will be taking a shot later.
And I'll be having a brew later.
Yeah. So
Oh, hold on. We haven't shown them the grand. Right, we haven't had this on a SouthernAirs vlog yet, so this is a first.
Every hotel we've stayed at, we've tried to find the Bible or the Bible. We now have
the first of many.
The Bible.
There was a time in the UK where almost every hotel would have a Bible standard, but it seems to have been a thing that's died off in the last 10 years or so.
Are you surprised though?
Not really.
No, not really.
And this is coming from an atheist.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll stay the night. We'll give a bit more of an update in the morning. We're probably gonna have a bit of dinner in here tonight because there's really nothing around here. We've just gone.
Stay tuned for a SouthernAirs Bruce to review thy meal.
Oh God, we've just gone through a load of country lanes. We had to go through a massive diversion because there was a road closure right in front of the building, which is really, really annoying. But we're fine now. We've got here fine. I will say the lobby is very interesting. It's very artistic.
I can get some footage on that on the GoPro later.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that sorted a bit later on. But yeah, first impressions, very nice.
Oh, how wrong we were.
I will say, for the amount we paid for this place, I don't know if I would say it's 100% worth it. Both me and Tyler agree that it is sort of nitpicky things, I suppose, around here. Like, there is zero phone signal whatsoever. I can't phone up Zeus or I can't phone anyone up. Can't text anyone.
First world problems.
Yeah. The Wi-Fi where I'm sat is extremely weak, but if I go by the door, by the entrance of the room, very strong, no problem. The TV just about works. Just about. I mean, at the moment we got Dave and we're watching Top Gear. The good Top Gear, not the newer, crappier Top Gear.
You wait and see till we share clips of what we found in the bathroom.
Yeah. Bodge job is the words that come to mind. And, anyone who knows us knows that we are honest and we are truthful. We don't like to bullshit, really. We don't like to do that. But, yeah. We will say what we think. And if the establishments don't like it, don't sue us.
It's a good hotel. I just think they need to invest some money in, polishing it off.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere like a romantic weekend away, but being right next to an airport, this probably isn't the right kind of establishment for that. At one point, we went to the bar to have a drink. We waited maybe 5 to 10 minutes before being told by the staff member who was there she wasn't sure if she can serve us, so we can go and get our own drinks? No, not good at all. So instead, we've done a bit of spotting by the road.
After finally getting served, we went back to our room and thought about dinner. We decided to get room service, including a meat feast pizza and some cheesy garlic bread. Really basic, right? Having paid just over 20 quid, you would expect the food to be edible.
So we've just got our starter, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's garlic
Nothing
bread.
fancy, but
Garlic bread with mozzarella. Dink it, sink it.
tastes right to me.
Tastes okay. The only problem that you can tell they've been out for a while. These have been out at least 10 minutes. At least
They probably had trouble getting to us.
Still.
Hold on. Bold barista, review thy meal.
From cold garlic bread to burnt pizza.
At least you know it's thoroughly cooked.
It is still hot. At least it's not cold this time. It is still hot, I would admit. I'm sort of burning my fingers a little bit.
Boom.
Ow. Ow.
Too hot, too spicy.
I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. How about you?
Not the best
They're not the worst.
pizza, but it's not terrible.
No. Mediocre. Yeah? Mediocre.
I think there's definitely room for improvement, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, definitely. Like not leaving it in the oven so long. I don't
The
know.
hotel definitely has areas it needs to work on, but
It definitely does, but maybe one day they'll be able to improve on that. For now, we're going to finish this off, take the plates back, because you need to return the plates back to the restaurant, apparently. That's something I didn't think was a part of the hotel. I thought you just left it outside the room or something like that. So yeah, we'll finish this up and probably head to bed soon.
we're going to be going to the bar first, though.
Oh, yes, we're going to see what the bar's like. So yeah, we'll find out what that one's like.
After bringing our plates back, so much for room service, we sat down in the bar to have a small drink, as is tradition. I had a double shot cognac, and Matt had a rum and coke.
I found it amusing that the barmaid doesn't measure my rum and just eyeballed it. I dread to think how much money they lose by doing that. But for now, it's time for bed. So we've had our sleep.
Decent beds, at least.
Yeah, at least the beds are decent. I wish there was another pillow that you can have, like an optional pillow, but that's personal preference.
I wish there was an option for no snoring from your roommate.
That's not an option, no. Personally, I don't think we will come back.
I would probably come back in like a year or two if I had to, and
If
just
you
to
had
see,
to, though.
just to see if this place has done anything to like improve. But if it hasn't improved in that year,
No. Just can it. Yeah.
I've got mixed feelings about this place, to be quite honest. I mean, like the service last night was great from the guys that were on.
But in the morning, we had that woman that just told us to get our own drinks from the bar, and I was like, that's not how you run a business.
Because
Surely.
we could have just simply taken it and then not said anything.
Yeah. Although it would be on camera, but yes. It was just too weird. The decor in the main lobby, as you've seen, is also just too weird for my liking. I'm not a fan of it at all, to be honest with you. But we've got to head down there in literally 1 minute and check out, and then go to the airport.
We didn't get many options on time for a taxi, as it was 1 per hour. So at 7 a.m. we headed out.
So, very fresh morning today.
The autumn has arrived.
Yeah. Walking into Stansted Airport now. I just got dropped off by what we suspect is the manager of the hotel. We don't quite know, but quite a nice guy compared to some of the other staff members, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get past security and we'll give you an update then.
Even though it was a busy morning at Stansted, it didn't take too long to get through security. I'm just glad to see things are getting back to normal after the last year or so with air travel.
So fortunately, we've gotten through security and neither of us actually got pulled this time, which is a miracle.
He's walking miracle.
Yeah. We're going to make our way to the gate soon. We don't really know where we're going to go. We don't know what gate we're going to go to yet.
I will tell you this little spoiler, but you must promise not to tell anyone. We'll be flying on a Ryanair 737.
Yeah, Ryanair. It still hasn't quite hit me yet. I mean, the traumatic of the hotel.
They're not going to like our t-shirts, I'll give them that.
Quite likely not, no. Yeah, we'll see you when we get on the plane. We hadn't had anything to eat yet, so we found ourselves a cheap breakfast in the Wetherspoons. Thank God Tyler didn't eat his eggs. So, interesting fact with this particular flight that we're about to go on. I've never flown from Stansted. I've always flown from Gatwick if I when we're flying Ryanair or something. This has been my second Ryanair flight, my second time to Dublin since 2016. Boy, I am very nervous, I really am. But I'm sure it'll be fine.
After some sort of breakfast, we headed to our gate and boarded our aircraft. As a standard with Ryanair, it was a Boeing 737-800. We had to prove that we'd been double jabbed and had our passenger locator form as well. If you don't fill one out, you'll more than likely be refused entry to the country or even boarding at the aircraft.
Literally just taken off, and it is quite a steep climb. Let's see if I can. It's very interesting. They were on the runway for a while before they actually put the pedal to the metal, you know. But let's see how this flight goes. It wasn't too long before we reached cruising altitude, and food arrived. Both of us got a meal deal which we pre-ordered. We both had a ham and cheese panini, a can of Pringles and a drink. So the food has just arrived. It's a warm ham and cheese panini. I've got some Pringles and a Coke as well.
Your change will really make a big difference to our charity. On behalf of our charity partners, we thank you for your generosity and wish you the very best of luck. Thank you.
Today, you will be helping numerous children's charities, including
it's unusual. I'll give you that.
Or Make-A-Wish in Italy.
So the food wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. My main critique is if they had some sort of like mayonnaise or ketchup to go along with it.
I interrupt this blog as the barista to bring you my opinions on this Ryanair flight from London Stansted to Dublin. After having a careful look through the photographs of the in-flight food, I've now decided to start on BanjoMan first. BanjoMan, you ready for a beer bashing? Well. As I look at this photograph here, where do I start? I want to start by saying, how was your visit to the dentist following your stale panini? I can imagine there was a few chipped teeth after eating that shite.
That's a personal choice. Just trying to finish up my Coke, and I'll put my Pringles in the bag for later on, because it's going to be a long day.
After a quick slating from the barista towards back, makes a fresh and change, it wasn't long before we were over the Emerald Isle. Although Matt wasn't a fan of the landing, I thought it was a pretty box standard Ryanair approach.
We are very close now, a couple hundred feet up I reckon. I can actually see the airport from where I'm sat.
Thank God we survived. To be honest, the reason this trek came about was because Mitch and Tyler wanted to get me onto a Ryanair flight. After leaving the airport, we got on the coach and headed for Dublin City. So we've made it into Dublin. We are on a bus waiting to get into the city centre. What do you think of the flight?
Pretty good as far as Ryanair flights go. I have no major complaints.
I think the engine was pretty loud, to be honest, compared to other flights we've been on.
Well, it was the first flight that we've done on a 737.
I suppose so, yeah.
We decided to make our way to the Hard Rock Café, but we didn't know the way, we got lost, and we found ourselves a nice little pub called the Trinity. Honestly, the only reason we came in here was just to get some Wi-Fi, and we could find our way to where the Hard Rock was. Of course, being Dublin, Matt had to get a Guinness.
Sink it, boy, sink it. I can just sense the joy. And look at the sloppy chops.
I've missed this. It's good.
I can see an authentic Irish pub. And check this out. Boom. Unfortunately, I'm relegated to coffee because I got to drive back from Stansted tonight. Oh, wow.
Let's don't get your small one later, though. Let's go get your small one later.
When the nights get dark and the times get tough, a pint of playing is your only man.
Once I'd filled up with Guinness, we headed around 3 corners to get to the Hard Rock.
Currently walking down some Irish cobbles in the back streets.
Yep. Just been into the Trinity bar. It's quite nice in there, isn't it?
Hey Matt, you and Suze are like motorbikes, check that out.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
You're open.
So, yeah, we're going to head up to Hard Rock Cafe to go and visit the rock shop. Then we're going to go to my favourite pub in Dublin of all time, mainly because of its history. The last time I was in there, I didn't get a pint, which was quite disappointing. Why did I not do that? Anyway, now regrets will no longer happen. Let's do this. The staff was very friendly and talkative. We had an ultimate share starter between us that filled us right up. So this is the first time I'm having a jumbo starter, and as much as there's what's left of it. Do you mind if I have the last spring roll? Or you
Go ahead.
Right, so this has spinach in it. I detest spinach. I cannot taste the spinach. It is bloody lovely. Oh, not very good.
And as for what's down there?
No. Tastes like tapas. Onion ring. Barbecue sauce. Beautiful. Honestly, Mitch, you missed out. What can I say? This is brilliant. I do regret not going to Eddie Rockets, but we didn't have time. We just didn't have time. It's fair enough. After this, we headed straight to O'Donoghue's and Marion Street. I mean, Marion Street, Marion, something like that.
Stuff like that, yeah, and we'll do some sightseeing on the way back.
Yeah, sightseeing on the way back. We're definitely crossing the Halfpenny Bridge. It's something I really, really want to do.
Of course.
Because it is a historical bridge. So we have just finished our jumbo starter. We are very, very full at the moment. I don't know how we're going to have the food on a plane later on. What were you saying about the thing earlier?
So the jumbo starter is a sharing starter, but if you haven't had anything to eat and you can order that for one person, get through it, and that could last you an entire day.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. So I think it will last us the entire time. I don't even know if we'll be able to eat the food on the plane home. The waitress that served us, she's incredible, very informative, very talkative, wonderful, wonderful person. Even the waitress that served us, set us in on our seats. They're all just brilliant in there, absolutely fantastic. It's not as big as the other Hard Rocks we've been to so far, but again, it's cozy. I like it. I like it a lot.
I love the jumbo sharing starter. Having filled up, however, Matt had his eye on one main prize, O'Donoghue's pub on Merron Road.
The pub has some brilliant story behind it. In 1962, the Irish folk band the Dubliners started performing here together. Laura, this one's for you. So after 5 years, I'm finally doing something right. Oh yeah. Bus ride back to the airport was probably around 30 to 40 minutes long. As always, there's a tunnel which is about 1 mile long. Feels like a portal going through it. Currently waiting to board our plane. Is just in front of us, not too far away now.
Yeah, not long to go.
About half hour or so?
Something like that, I guess.
Yeah. We're due to take off at 8:35. Should be back in Stansted by 9:50. Then we get a taxi from the airport back to the hotel to pick up the car, and the long drive back home.
Fingers crossed.
I'm going to have to fool you with coffee and cocaine if I'm not careful.
We're waiting for our plane, another Ryanair Boeing 737-800.
Before long, it was time to board. This time, though, we were up in front of the plane. At least on this flight, they said to me and Tyler pretty much immediately before the food was handed out about us pre-ordering, whereas on the previous one, on the way up here, didn't do that. So it seems that the cabin crew on this flight are more on the ball. I like that. So food just arrived, chicken and mozzarella panini. Hold on. With what looks like courgette and peppers, which looks quite nice and smells quite nice too, oddly enough. Actually, I'm surprised. Fairly decent.
And sure enough, it was time for food again. I thought it tasted nice.
You seem to think that about a lot of questionable foods.
As I continue to review these awful in-flight choices that these two boys have made on their trip, I can now come across Tyler McDowell. Tyler, you have seriously crossed the line now, boy. I think you may need to think about a visit to the dietitian, because I have finally come to the conclusion that your eating habits at 30,000 feet are unhelpable. You disgust me, boy. How on earth can you have the audacity to sit there and eat a lasagna that it just looks absolutely disgusting? What goes through your mind when you pick these in-flight these in-flight deals?
So we both finished our food. Some strong opinions on Tyler's lasagna. I'm glad I didn't choose it. He wanted me to choose it. I'm glad I didn't choose it, to be honest with you. Look at him creeping away and look at him creeping in the corner there. Here's Johnny. Oh God, that's horrible. Anyway, it was time to land and head home.
The day was amazing, but we both had work the next day.
So, our final thoughts of the last couple of days. You go ahead, what do you think?
It has been interesting, to say the least.
That is a good word to use, yeah, interesting.
Like, we had a very weird experience with the hotel. Ryanair was Ryanair, and Dublin was above and beyond.
I think it started off quite
Iffy.
The flight itself out was and Dublin, as Tyler quite rightly said, was just fantastic.
The only thing Matt didn't seem to agree on with the flights, though, was my choice of dinner on the way back.
That lasagna looked like pig slop, honestly. It did. But yeah, that is it for the SouthernAirs video today. We hope you have enjoyed. Don't forget to follow our Facebook and Twitter page. Links will be in the description. And have safe journeys. See you later.